take the softest packaged snack. Before you even swallow it, your brain has already started predicting the reward. A quick guess about what this bite means. Throughout human history, softness, sweetness, fat, salt, and speed rarely came together so perfectly in a single mouthful. Now, they arrive fused, like an urgent message stamped before the full letter has even been read. Hold that bite in your mouth for just a moment. This isn't about willpower or discipline. It's about the signals between your gut and brain. The mouthfeel sends one message, absorption sends another beneath it, and satiety, the feeling of fullness, arrives much later. Here's the twist. Ultra-processed food doesn't just contain more calories. It can trick the body into experiencing a rewarding food event before the fullness has even been registered. The brain treats the snack like a finished answer, while the gut is still processing the question. What's unsettling is that this first quick signal might feel cleaner than the reality. The usual culprit? Discipline. People seem to eat beyond their needs, so the blame feels simple. Weaker restraint. Hidden calories? A private failure of control. But that's not the whole story. It's easy to suspect willpower, but that's only part of the truth. Calories are just one piece of evidence. How food is processed affects eating speed, texture, palatability, and the timing of body signals. A soft, ultra-processed bite moves quickly, stimulates reward fast, and fullness arrives after the eating decision has already been made. The bigger question isn't just whether energy entered the body, but how the body is informed that energy has arrived. The problem may not be weakness. It could be that the body receives the wrong kind of certainty. This isn't a matter of lectures or discipline. It's a matter of timing, like a clock running out of sync. Controlled feeding studies linked to the NIH show people tend to eat more on ultra-processed diets. Controlled feeding means the food environment is tightly regulated, leaving less room to blame sloppy choices. The body isn't roaming a buffet, it's being carefully observed in a narrow setting. Reviews from BMJ and PubMed back this up, connecting ultra-processed food with worse metabolic outcomes. For the body, the issue isn't just what's on the label, but how the food is built when it hits the tongue, the stomach, and the slower chemical processes, reporting fullness. Pause here. It's not just the amount of food that's odd. What's really unusual is the timing. The palatability can speed up eating. Energy intake can rise before discomfort kicks in. Processing can turn a slow, negotiated meal into a quick transaction. People can finish eating before the slower signals of fullness have even been processed. It's like a clock where the second hand moves faster than the hour hand. The bite count advances. The reward signals fire early. But the heavier fullness signals remain behind glass, still waiting for their turn. 1.2 seconds of absolute silence. That is why blame falls short as an explanation. The alarming detail isn't that people simply ate more. It's how quietly those extra bites slipped in. Imagine a control room receiving 5 alarms, but one alarm sounds louder and earlier than the rest. That's the power of texture. Oral processing starts to speed up or slow down the message before the body even finishes interpreting it. With softer textures, we chew less, swallow faster, and push through our meal before the rest of the system has caught up. The tongue gets little time. The body's internal clock gets even less. Set aside the biology for a moment. Just notice the pace. Eating faster shrinks the window where fullness can make itself known. The stretch of the stomach lags behind each bite. Nutrients arrive well after the swallow. Gut hormones trail even further behind the decision to keep eating. Yet reward signals from the brain can activate early and in a louder voice. Put simply, that first green light can appear before the later warning signals have even started. A pause of 1.2 seconds of absolute silence. This shows why the problem isn't just about calories. It's about timing. In the mouth, food is already telling one story, while the body waits for the rest backstage. A softer, quicker meal can finish before the control center assembles the full report. When that timing shifts, the body is forced to judge too soon. The mouth sends a fast signal. The stomach responds late. Hormones advise caution, but out of sync. The brain receives a jumble. Food can be physically easy to eat before the body truly understands it biologically. It's like an old decoder trying to sort a brand new alphabet. This is the challenge facing our appetite system in today's engineered food environment. It wasn't built to read ingredient lists, but to detect cues in a precise sequence: texture, effort, sweetness, fat, salt, stomach stretch, and delayed hormonal feedback. Each cue was a piece of a small, ordered report handed over one after another. Think of it less as reading a nutrition label and more as passing through a customs checkpoint. The body checks passports for a country that didn't exist before. Texture says, easy. Sweetness says, useful. Fat says, valuable. Salt says, keep this. But the stomach hasn't yet reported enough volume. The hormones arrive late from the back office, dragging slower evidence behind. And here the story gets colder. Ultra-processed food doesn't have to create new cravings. It rearranges the old evidence. It lets softness come with reward, speed match density, and pleasure strike before slower internal signals have crossed the threshold. The old classifier isn't broken, but it's getting handed a new alphabet, then judged when it hesitates over unfamiliar letters. In an older food language, effort mattered. Chewing wasn't just decorative, it was part of the timing system. Slower oral work gave the gut time to respond. Fullness wasn't a single feeling, but a delayed negotiation between the mouth, the stomach, and the chemical messengers that arrive with nutrients. Simply put, the body needed time to translate a meal into meaning. 1.2 seconds of absolute silence. Modern comfort can remove that time without seeming violent. A bite feels harmless because it's soft. It feels complete because it's rewarding. It feels manageable because it disappears quickly. Yet inside the body's old system, the signals arrive out of order. The discomfort is mechanical, not moral. Modern food doesn't need to fight the body. It just has to speak faster than the body's traditional grammar. And after all that, the bite is still just sitting there. The first snack hasn't changed shape. What changes is the message after the meal. Ultra-processed food can make hunger feel mysterious because reward, speed, texture, and delayed fullness no longer arrive in the order the body expects. The reply is sent before the question reaches its destination. Prediction error happens when the nervous system realizes what it expected doesn't match what actually arrived. In the body, it can feel like wanting more, even though the need for more isn't yet proven. Satiety lag is the delay before fullness feels real. In everyday terms, the stomach is still writing its report, while the mouth has already closed the case. Signal compression happens when softness, speed, and reward get packed into one quick event. The body receives a whole sentence, as if it were a single word. So the final definition is simple, though cold. This isn't just food with more energy. It's food with effort. Timing. Wanting can finish speaking before needing has even arrived. Your hunger might not be lying. It might just be reading a language that's been rearranged. "1.5 seconds of absolute silence.